We are live. And that means a lot because we haven't been here for a while. This is TAR 30, and this is November 29th.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And welcome back. Or welcome back, Justin.
Welcome back, Mark. Happy Thanksgiving.
Oh, and Christmas, too.
And to everyone.
Yeah.
I hope you had a good holiday.
Yeah.
We're going to start out with, God, when was the last time we did a match?
That was when you and I beat you all your money. Yeah.
Well, that didn't take long.
No. Who was our last match? Was it Dennis and Shane?
Schmitty and Corey?
You know, you're not very good at this job, are you? See,
Who was after Schmitty and Corey?
I guess, you know, the silence is deafening here. Anyhow, we're going to announce that we do have a match. It's been a little tenuous the last couple of months dancing around schedules, but we're slowly making progress and working it out, and Justin has, he thinks, worked his magic. So you can tell him who it is.
TAR 30 is going to be Darren Appleton versus Shane Van Boning. It's a 10-ball match. It's the format we've used before. Race to 25, 2 out of 3. And Mike DeShane is going to play the winner.
Oh, really?
Yep. And February. I'm still working on dates for February.
Okay.
But whoever wins gets another shot at Mike. Because Mike beat Dennis.
Dennis, yeah.
So.
And we're working on this other little project we don't want to go into too much depth on, but and it is weird because everything's, see, this is TAR Podcast 30, this is TAR Match number 30, and this is the 29th, so we got all kinds of, it gets confusing.
And the dates on that match are going to be January 18th through the 20th. It's the weekend before the Derby and the weekend after Turning Stone. So.
See, I'm glad you mentioned that because I did not remember what dates, Turning Stone's dates are.
It's the weekend between them.
And so we're going to go, we'll discuss the upcoming match a little bit later on, but everybody knows who Shane is, everybody knows who Darren is. Darren's bonus ball team is scheduled off that week, so so that works out real well. And the reason I brought that in is I just mentioned bonus ball for 2 seconds because the Turning Stone will be the kind of test to see how things shake out a little bit between the bonus ball players and a BCA points event.
Yeah, you know, we were just kind of talking about, you know, we don't want to turn this into a bonus ball podcast.
No, this is not going to be a bonus ball podcast.
There is an interesting dynamic when it comes to other events in that, say, you know, they've said that players can take off and have a sub fill in if a guy wants to go off and play, which is cool. It's very nice.
But with a three-man team,
with a three-man team,
they're all strong.
Yeah, the dynamic. Well, what's going to be interesting is, you know, say you've got like a guy. I don't know who's on Darren's team, but you know, Darren's a great player.
Well, let's just say Alex was on his team. Alex isn't because he's not in the bonus ball, I don't believe. So yeah, just say Alex was on his team and had to go somewhere.
Right, but you know, at some point, especially as the season goes on and things shake out, you know, so that's going to be an interesting dynamic. You know, a guy may not want and. Sounds to me like they're leaving it up to the players' free will, which is
you get team pressure. See, when you play,
but
the dynamics
fine.
of a team are great, but you feel more guilty on the team than on yourself.
Sure.
And so that it is. But it's going to be interesting to see the value of BCA points and the Turning Stone and this and that because there's only CSI is going to have. The odds are very, very, very strong that we're going to have 2 BCA points events at my event. That'll be the U.S. Open 10 ball and the U.S. Open 8 ball. Turning Stone has 2. Whether U.S. Open 9 ball comes back or whatever,
well, but
who
the other
knows?
Turning Stone is.
Yeah, but there's only 4 points events a year is what I'm trying to say.
What about Allen's event?
Oh, that's true. I forgot about that. And that's up in the air a little bit too, but I think it's it depends if he uses ABP seating.
Yeah.
You can't use ABP seating. So there's going to be some interesting things going on, but I don't. Again, we're not going to spend a lot of time on bonus ball.
This week, right?
Yeah, I did. I had lunch with Larry, and you know, Larry and I get along fine. If you read AZ and you saw all the crazy stuff on that thread, that was not Larry, and I even alluded to it that Larry and I treat each other with respect. That's more than I can say on some other people. You know, it's the strangest dynamic there too. But we actually offered to see if he wanted to get on and have a little speak and talk to everybody. I can understand why he said no. He's pretty busy over there. It's a work in progress. Do I have any great answers to tell everybody? No. It's one of those things, let's just see how it works out. I did point out that they need to try to be as sensitive as possible to the other pool ventures. And then I mentioned, I says, because I says, you know, these people that think that if bonus ball takes off, that we're just going to 9-ball and 10-ball are just going to go to an extinct, are kidding themselves. This is just another option. It's like one part.
Yeah,
just,
I don't think too many people really think that.
Well, but it's so it's just if it's successful or whatever, it'll just be another game. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, I mean, my only real beef was just, you know, my only beef was they had to know that they weren't going to be open. You know,
and he and I did discuss that, and it was as much as anything was player contentment or player, you know, and they needed to bring players out here anyhow to do some training and blah blah blah. But I would not have done it that way. Because you can see what it did to us. We can't have an event basically till January 18th, or we haven't had one for 2 months. So we're down for about three months or so.
Well, but that's not bonus ball's fault by any means.
That is not.
Because a lot of that was because the guys all went to Asia.
And then the events got canceled. No,
Yeah.
it's really
you can't put it all on bonus ball by any means.
And the good side is, we're going to have 36 players in town, and we ought to be able to figure out something, even if it's midweek, doing a shorter concept. We were kicking around some ideas. Maybe have them flipping coins for the court to the line for 1,000 or something. But anyhow, you know, it was, you know, so we wanted to touch on it. It's touched with. To me, the most important topic to be discussed
By far.
is Mr. Berman and the U.S. Open 9-ball.
Yeah, lack of payment.
Lack of payment.
And
now I understand
it's not only the players that have not
staff.
gotten paid. Staff has not been paid.
But now Mr. Helfert and those guys, their checks have been made good. So I've heard.
Also, their staff is paid then.
Well, that's only the referees and the tournament. There's other people on the staff, like people that collected, you know, helped out. Some of them have not been. I've heard he's accumulating some money to pay people off and everything, and that's fine. That's what you have to do. It just shouldn't have been here in the first place. And his letter is great. I'm not ragging on Barry Berman, but damn, how many letters like this are we going to read? And my attitude is, pay these people off and tell everybody when they're paid off. And that doesn't mean $2,000 a week. I mean, just paid when they're paid off. And I mean, I think he's hurt himself structurally on this.
Well, it will.
Yeah, but
If he holds true to his word in his last press release that there won't be an open unless all the added money is posted 30 days in advance, I think there won't be an open.
well, see, I agree.
I honestly think there's a very good chance we might have seen the last U.S. Open.
Yep. Well, and he's got issues on the venues too. He wants to change venue, but he signed a 3-year contract.
And I
You know,
hope
there's issues and issues and issues. So
somebody made a post, you know, and said, "Do you want to bet?" And my reply was, "I don't like to bet on things I don't want to see happen." But,
right.
At the same time, this can't continue.
No.
And if that means the Open's got to go away for a year or two or whatever until something gets squared up, so be it. It's a shame, but
You know, it is a shame. It's been there 38 years. You know, our BCA national tournament is only 1 year younger. People don't realize that. And some of the Texas tournaments are even longer.
yeah, but Barry's been doing that thing by himself for the
absolutely.
most part for the whole time.
It's an amazing track record. And it's just really been the last 5 or 6 years when all this crap has started to happen. And it's unfortunate, but something's causing it. But I'm going to say one thing like I've always said before, and there's a couple people that keep posting that just don't understand this. They say, well, it's none of your business, why you should be concerned. Listen, it affects this industry.
Sure.
And if somebody thinks it doesn't, then they don't understand the dynamics of business and reputations and innuendos and rumors. You know, pretty soon, you're going to go to that pool tournament? Oh, you're going to get paid?
Right.
Right. I mean, Tony Anagoni and, you know.
Phoenix.
In Phoenix. You know,
Galveston changing the prize fund
yeah,
at
just,
the
you know,
tournament.
it can't continue.
Yeah.
That's one more reason why we do need a very strong governing body of pool, whether it be the BCA. It's obviously, again, to me, not the ABP, because where was the ABP in the payment? That was supposed to be their mantra.
Well, the
And,
ABP never. Well, even Johnny just told me. He said, everybody knows Barry doesn't have the added money before the tournament starts. What they were worried about was they wanted to make sure that their entry fees.
Yeah. Well.
They didn't lose. That the entry monies got paid out.
Well, basically that was probably accomplished.
Yeah. But
that's pretty weak. The whole thing is weak.
Yeah. It's. So a lot of people I'm talking to, frankly, are just sick of it.
Well, I went for 2 or 3 years and I just quit going just because of all of the crap.
Yeah, people are just really sick of it because no one likes to be lied to, and let's face it, that's what he's doing.
Sure. Oh, I know. I remember they was going to be rolled in with a wheelbarrow 2 years ago. Remember the money's be posted and whatever. Enough beating up on him. Mosconi Cup's coming up.
Yes.
There was a lot of rah, and CJ was posting like crazy on the Mosconi Cup. Been a little quiet last week or so. I know the players are getting ready. I think the dynamics of the U.S. team is respectable. I think there's some issues between a couple of the players.
I don't know. I mean,
but I think they're also mature
Dennis
enough.
and Mike had a little thing here, but Mosconi Cup and being in London and that kind of situation.
It erases those things.
Right. It smooths over all those rough spots. So I'm not worried about that.
Yeah.
And I like the fact that Brandon's on the team. I think he'll bring a new. I like changing the dynamic.
Well, and Brandon beat Shannon Dalton in the Grady Matthews tournament. One pocket, 4-2.
Brandon's a great player.
He's getting stronger and stronger and stronger. I mean, he'll hurt anybody if you give him an opportunity.
He's just a flat-out great player.
Yeah. Yep.
Nice guy too.
Yeah, Brandon's a pretty cool dude. He keeps it together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But that's all he's been doing for the last 5, 6, 7 years.
Yeah,
I met him.
He's got a lot of seasoning.
More than most people. I met him when he came out here in 2004 at our 9-ball at the Plaza. That was the first event we did when we took over the league, and he came out because he won it off of a Planet 9-ball tour over there or something. He was the top winner, and that was the prize. So.
The ICCS show was in Vegas, International Cue Collector Show.
There wasn't much. I thought there'd be some great pictures on.
I saw a few threads.
There was, what's his name? Kevin Brewer put some up. And I missed him. He was there. I wanted to see who he was, but no name tags, so you don't know who a lot of people are.
It was a great venue.
The Red
very
Rock
well run. Will Prout did a great job as always. I only made it out there Saturday. They had some putts working the door.
Hey, that was me. Yeah.
Great show if you ever get a chance. And I don't know where they're doing the next one, but
I think they're talking New Orleans.
Really?
That's what they were. Not Caston Country. They was one of the options or something.
And it moves every year, which is cool. So you get to see different parts of the country. But if it's in your area, or if you're heavy into the cues, it's worth an airplane ticket. There's nothing else like it in the world.
Yeah, there's some pretty crazy stuff.
There's really nothing else. I mean, it's not like Valley Forge.
Oh no.
And it's not a gun show for cues like Valley Forge kind of is. This is more of a show, and it's collectors, and business gets done, but it's not. You don't really walk up to tables and do business. They frown on that.
Well, the way they did it, they had along the outside, and this room was kind of oval in shape.
It was a round room.
Really cool, and so they had the manufacturers, the cue makers, on the outside, and they had the collectors in the center. So it was, and there's some pretty outrageous collections there. It's just.
Well, yeah, there's so much cool stuff that you don't get to see anywhere else.
Yeah.
There was a collector from Japan there that had a great collection of Tad cues that were just crazy. I mean, stuff, and it's the old stuff.
Tad was there too.
Yeah, Tad was there. Yes, he was. And it's the stuff you don't see. It's neat stuff. Everywhere you look, there's stuff like that.
Yeah.
Except, for God's sake, man, stop with the tuxedo cues. If I ever see another tuxedo cue, it'll be too soon. Just stop it.
Is that an order?
No, just personal taste.
Yeah. You have that?
Yes.
All right.
It's just, they all look the same.
I thought that there were some pretty cool sticks. They're just kind of attract you. Like a McWhorter had a Route 66 one. It was just kind of, and he does great stainless steel or silver. I guess it's silver work, and a little highway and little, but those are just, and I mean everybody ran it and raved. I'd seen it before, but Denny Glenn, who now lives in Vegas, he's Balabushka made accordions before he made cue sticks, and he's got the Balabushka accordion.
Yeah.
So,
that's one of the best collections in the world.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Now he didn't have that much there either, really. So.
What else we got?
Well, you hit a milestone. You do once in a while.
Yeah. I was the other day. I was 7,000 posts, man.
You are way too wordy.
Since 2006.
Yeah. 7 years. That's 1,000. That's almost all. That's like 2.7 posts a day.
Well, when you get in those threads with Flame Wars with Jam and
Barton. Well, Barton's been pretty mellow lately, which why
absolutely.
I have to say one thing. I was asking an intelligent question by Jam, and Mark doesn't really care for dogs. I actually like dogs, but I'm really a cat person. But I'm
why doesn't that surprise me?
Well, because I'm not home a lot, so I just thought I'd pass that out. And somebody else said we should get Keith McCready on our podcast. I'm gonna tell you what, I love to get Keith.
Yeah,
you can't get.
Well, what's funny? I was talking to Luke Riches this morning on Facebook, and but we were talking about
Could you understand him?
Yeah, he types in English, and we were talking about Mosconi Cup captains, and he said he thought CJ would bring a good dynamic to the U.S. team, and I told him what he should do is, he should just yank everybody's chain and announce Keith McCready as captain next year.
That would be a hoot. Telling you
and I told him, I said, the U.S. would go crazy.
Isn't that amazing? I mean, the guy hasn't hit a ball in 20 years. Well, he did play in the U.S. Open that one year and did really well for being out of stroke. Came in like 8th or something, but he's a legend. Just stone cold legend.
Well, people love him.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Come back, Keith.
Yeah, people do love him. So what else? Oh, and next year, Mosconi Cup's back in Vegas next year, and I didn't know this. It's their 20th anniversary.
Wow.
He said it's going to be a big deal, so that'll be something cool to look forward to. We get to see that.
Tickets will cost twice as much.
Yeah, well, you pay for tickets? Big industry baller like you can't, on diamond tables, you can't get a couple passes?
Yeah, this year's Mosconi is on diamond tables. I was thinking about this the other day, because I was at the Mosconi Cup last year. And now the TV table, no problem. The practice room tables, they're going up those stairs in pieces.
Really?
And I haven't told Paul. Yeah, unless there's a backdoor access, but it's just.
So 3 pieces or?
Well, I don't know what they're going to use.
Maybe
they have another
room. Are they shipping tables over, or are there tables over there?
They have a fellow that sells tables in Europe, so there's 3 tables there. I'm not sure the logistics, but the logistics of getting it into the practice rooms that were there last year is not going to be fun. But Paul's getting pretty good at that. Paul Smith is one of the techs for Diamond. He runs around. I mean, at one of the ones in the Philippines, they had to completely disassemble the table. Now, this is a Pro-Am, like this table here. It comes, they completely disassemble the box, take it upstairs and put it back together.
Tell you what, that's a tough job, man.
and then one-piece slate, 650 pounds.
Delivering tables is, ooh.
Oh, so that's one advantage of the 3-piece slates do have, because they go into rooms easier.
What else we got?
Well, we can discuss a little bit. There's been some. Well, here. First of all,
yeah. Let me pull this. Go ahead.
We do have the, there's Christmas coming up. I mean, I know we're just past Thanksgiving and everything. We have the Jay Swanson Memorial and the U.S. Bar Table Championship. That's our next events, and that's February 23rd and 24th for the Swanee. And then the next day, the Reno event starts, which is the U.S. Bar Table Championship. That'll be 10 ball. You can play in both, because if you get real deep on Sunday, we won't start you real late till real late Monday. The 10 ball is the smallest event, 90 players. This year it's.
What are the dates on that again? When Swanee start?
23rd and 24th, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
So Reno's 25th.
Yeah. And I just wanted to mention them. So.
Well, we'll figure it out. I was going to say, when does Rick load in?
Well, yeah,
we can figure all that out.
Yeah,
but
yeah. I just wanted to mention it. So the reason we put them back to back like that, if somebody wants to come from another part of the country, they can get 2 bites of the apple.
Sure.
And I'll tell you what, the bar table champion is. It's 25,000 added, 10 ball, 9 ball, and 8 ball in that order. There's second chances, and this new venue is the Stone Cold Nuts.
Greens fees?
Yeah, greens fees, $25 per event. But for $25, all you can eat sushi.
Yeah.
I mean, that was, and that was. I mean,
I really dig the green. I think people are going to love the greens fees. So you don't leave the tables open, right?
Yep. Now, and so which means
all night too.
Yeah. Well, I'd like to not keep it open 24 hours. But if there's people playing, we will. And we're still going to have the 10 9-foot tables that the World PPA is. That's the league association out of the San Francisco, Sacramento area. Mm-hmm. And they're limited to 128 players. And they think they may hit it this year. So if you're interested in doing that, you need to contact Bob Bolio. Because it's his event.
Where would they contact Bob Bolio at?
Well, I guess just go through our office. Okay. We'll because it's. But it's a great. That's a good deal. It's a good fun event.
Well, it's the bar table. The new venue changed the whole event. It's so much nicer.
And you're streaming it.
Yeah, we'll be having a stream this year. I was real happy with how the stream turned out last year.
I imagine Kenny, because Kenny doesn't live too far away, so you're going to have to put up with me for a couple of days. We're introducing a whole lot of new software for our tournament. We're going to be testing a lot of the software they're going to be using in nationals. So we're going to be doing duplication. We'll be printed charts and TV charts.
So you are going to do the TV charts at Reno?
Yeah, the people are going to be using the paper charts because in case we glitch up. But but we're doing. We're going to have a couple of
Yeah, that's
and
texting. Those TV charts are going to be slick.
Yeah, we got a lot of stuff going on. So.
Okay, let's get into this thread we had. IBA 7467. His question was the expectations of Derby City with bonus ball players missing. I don't think anybody knows yet. Nobody knows. I mean, I could see it certainly affecting it because, Derby is one of those places where you see some guys come out of the fold, you know what I mean, to go deep.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of those players are playing bonus ball. And
then you have the 10-ball challenge on top of that, which is a real elite group. But it's a tough one to call.
Well, the way I look at it from a player's point of view is, if you look at it like a business deal, it costs you at least $2,000 to go to the Derby.
Flying there and staying in a hotel room for 10 days and eating
fees.
Entry fees, whatever. Yeah.
So it's at least $2,000 to go.
And if you're on bonus ball, you're making $1,000. So now you're costing yourself $3,000. So you have to make $3,000, $3,500.
Well, actually, you'd have to and I haven't looked at the schedule. The one interesting thing is that not all teams play every week. So
Correct.
They do fall certain ways.
Except Derby covers 2 weekends.
Right, exactly.
so and the big one is at the end. So it's, some people are going to be there.
Some will. Absolutely.
Darren's got to be there.
You don't know that. Why would he have to be there?
Because he goes deep.
That's
Alex, but he's not playing bonus ball, I don't believe.
So I don't really know. We could sit here and speculate forever, but
I'm not. Yeah,
it's we just don't know. Diamond 10-ball predictions, no clue. Shane or a Filipino there?
I just like Alex.
Or Darren.
I like Alex on anything. The bigger the table,
yeah.
I know. The shorter the guy.
The bigger the table.
He runs everything out on a 12-foot snooker table. The guy's like 4 foot tall.
We got to get Alex back.
He's amazing. I love watching Alex play. Some people wanted to discuss the different formats we've had.
Easy E had a question. We'll come back to that at the end.
Oh, that was the inside joke one.
Yeah. Well, I'll explain it. Yeah. Discuss the $550 million lottery and what you would do with the money if pool related.
I could tell you I won that, but you'd probably call me a liar. But.
Well, you might have won $2 or something.
No, I forgot it. I remember reading or hearing about it. It grew like $100 million the last day. was like 400 some odd million. I says, I should just jump in the car and go out and buy $50. You can drive over the,
I saw
it's an
2
hour
winners,
away.
one in Arizona.
And
So you dogged it, and
I did.
one in Missouri or something like that.
I did,
Mississippi,
yeah.
something like that.
That whole concept, I see a parallel between lotteries and pool. Why in the world, instead of paying $500 million to a winner, why don't you pay like the top 3%? You know what I mean? Wouldn't you rather have 5 $100 million winners? Or how about 25 $20 million winners? Rather than one $500 million winner. I don't understand it's just crazy, but everybody likes the big number. It's the same concept in pool, Amateurs say pay down, the pros say pay don't pay top. And it's
Same thing with poker.
Well, yeah, poker pays 10%, and it's self-funded right out of the player's pocket.
Not only is it self-funded, but they take 10% off the top.
6. I think it's 6.
No, well, the one
for the rake or for the
one
dealers.
WPT event I looked at was $4,000 entry with a $400 registration fee.
Oh, see, I didn't even know about the registration fee. I'm talking about like that $10,000 tournament. They take it is 6% for paying the dealers and everything.
Wow.
The house. If we ran pool tournaments like they run poker tournaments,
Yeah. No, they'd run you out of town. Certainly like the possibility of a 1,000-point straight pool match.
we've had discussions of a couple people wanting one pocket matches.
I wouldn't mind a straight pool match. If we could do it dirt cheap.
Well, we were having some discussions about possibly doing some things during the week as an experiment. And that might be a perfect one because you'll have some of the, you got Thorsten Holman, who is an awesome straight pool player.
Schmitty.
Yeah. And all we got to do then is get Danny Harriman here.
Are private clubs and home tables going to produce the next generation of great players? I don't know where the hell the next generation of great players is going to come from. Because we're rapidly running out of places to grow them.
Yeah. There was a great thread on there that said professional bowling has the same problem as the pool does. There was a couple of guys in it. One guy's been bowling for 7 years. He's got a pro card. He's rolled 25, 300 games and this and that. And he says, but I've been playing pool for 3 times as long and I'm still a B player. Mm-hmm. The consensus is that pool is a lot harder game than bowling. And I will definitely agree.
Absolutely, it's a lot harder.
But the learning curve of pool is so long, but yet then you see this kid, Ernie Rivas, I think. I'm close.
What's called talent.
Yeah. He's 13 years old and he went at a Hopkins event, out of 800 players, he came in 4th. Hmm. Now you say, well, how long has he been playing? I said, that's not the point. How long have I been playing? Like 40 years. It's just amazing.
Well, I've seen that in everything, in shooting.
Well, McCready. You think McCready was he probably started playing when he was 12, but I'll bet you when he was 14, he was running racks too.
Well, John Schmidt didn't start playing pool till he was 18.
Yeah. He's actually a well-rounded athlete. He played baseball, golf, all that stuff.
There is such a thing as talent. Aptitude, whatever you want to call it.
So, I love the fact that Sam Dieppe is involved in the BEF, the Billiard Education Foundation. I talk to her a couple times a day. We're trying to do some things, and there's enough support out there to get some junior programs going. We just need some direction because they're not expensive. It's not like they're asking for $20,000. I still want to do my kids' camp thing.
I'm trying to think. I don't know anything about the juniors, but I'm trying to think of the people who came through it. Justin Bergman,
Sarah Rousey. Jeez, Klatt. Yeah. We're both wrong.
Klatt come through juniors?
No, Sarah Klatt.
Who? oh yeah, the Klatt clan.
Yeah.
I was like, Sarah Klatt. That really threw me for a loop, man. Wow.
Well, she's married now.
I know.
Show some respect.
Yeah. She'll always be Rousey to me. Did Jesse Engel come through the juniors?
I think a lot of them played in the juniors. When you say come through the juniors, there's no real junior, but I played in a couple of them.
When you play the championships or whatever. So I mean, I don't know. He knows a lot more about that stuff
And
than
I
do.
don't know because it's just
You know,
it's
so-
always been such an uncoordinated program, and I think we're making huge strides. I think now there's some good motion and things happening.
You know, to me, the way that I've seen most great players created is they show talent. They play good when they're a kid. Somebody takes them under their wing.
Sure, their parents
then
own a
they-
bar, and and when they're 6 years old, they watch them. Yeah,
And then you got, you know,
Get a
the
monster.
exception that proves the rules. A kid like Landon Shuffett. You know, his father's a great player, or great teacher.
and a great player. His dad was a real
he a good
strong
player?
player.
But you know, Landon was kind of one of those born into it type.
But
things.
he was nurtured. But he's well, look at the Bankies, the whole family.
Yeah.
You know? So I don't know. But this industry does need, we need the Ronald McDonald program, something to make it really fun and cool to
Yeah,
kids.
well, I mean, I like the idea of doing something. You know, to me, colleges make a lot of sense, even high schools.
Yeah.
You know, there's already some structure in colleges. So,
Well, yeah, a lot of the sororities, I guess, have pool tables. But
well, no, there's like pool teams and stuff.
not like there
certain
used to be.
colleges.
They're they have more bowling and golf teams, but was reading up on it, and so many of them over the student union buildings, the pool rooms are going by the wayside. That was one of the problems that the BEF had. They used to hold them at the schools with the 16 tables and everything. There's hardly any left.
Yeah, well, yeah.
It's I don't get it, but that's okay. We'll
All
keep
right,
plugging away.
NB 92, progress, if any, plans, if any, regarding developing the ability for us to access catalog of previous matches.
There's
We're
actually some
working
movement.
on it. It's pretty encouraging.
We had some really good develops in the last.
I'm
2
hoping
weeks.
early. I mean, I would love to get it in like the first quarter of 13, and I think it's possible.
Yeah.
I think it's possible. And we're working hard on that because honestly, we won't survive without it.
That's the future. It has to go that way. It gives us a lot more flexibility. And then once that happens, that way people will get to watch the matches from the U.S. Open 10 ball in the one pocket that we've got, 30 hours worth of or 30 matches, probably more than 30 hours. And they're not, it just doesn't work to put them on DVDs. That doesn't math out.
Is Tara attending or streaming any aspect of the Derby? No plans to. I guess anything's possible, but at the moment,
No, I don't see it happening. There's no revenue stream. It's all
well, it's not
out.
even. It's what yeah. I mean, what
Yeah.
we were doing with the action room and stuff. It's just too tough anymore. Things have changed. It's a different tournament now than what it was. The top guys just don't play.
Well, there's too much going on.
Right.
I mean,
It's
this
just too much other stuff.
this 10-foot 10-ball tournament is great for the spectators, but you're dancing around everybody's schedule. You can't
Yeah.
plan anything. So, yeah, it's
So,
crisis of
no.
success.
I was thinking about. I didn't go to the Derby last year for the first time in a long time. I think I might go back this year, just for a few days, just to see it. Should the U.S. Open 9-ball stay in Virginia, or should all U.S. Opens be in Vegas, Reno, all held at the same time? I don't think they should all be held at the same time. I don't necessarily think they should all be in Vegas. I think it's important to, I like having a big tournament on the East Coast, but
We're going to try to do the concept. The reason the U.S. Opens have gravitated towards our tournament is because we have the people there.
well, you've
You
got
know-
the people and you've also got the infrastructure.
Yeah.
And you can spread the costs out.
You can't just go do a tournament in some hotel or something. You just really take it in the shorts. This year, we've actually gone so far as there will be no charge to watch our U.S. Open 1 pocket, 10-ball, and 8-ball. If you're playing in the tournament, it's free. VIP seats are available, and there'll be a charge, but our added money is going to be $60,000 between the 3 events. And
You
they'll
know, we
actually
got
get
started
paid.
talking.
Yeah.
We were started talking about something, and then you got me completely off topic. And now, 20 minutes later, I just realized what it was. You don't even know what it was, do you?
No, sir. Squirrel.
7,000 post. That story was. I had posted in one of those bonus ball threads and saw that my post count was 6,999, and I don't. People 2,000 posts.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I mean,
Yeah.
I don't usually.
2.7 a day.
Yeah, so I don't usually pay much attention to like forum milestones or whatever. But
Yeah.
I looked at that and I thought, that's a shit ton of posts.
Yeah.
And I thought, you know, I want to do something cool for 7,000. And then I started thinking, I thought, you know, I'll go through my photos and see if I can find some cool stuff with Nasty in it. And so I started looking through all these old photographs, and a lot of them from the first year, 2007, 2008, and posted, you know, put I think 6 or 7 photographs up there of Nasty with, and I started looking at it, and it's, you know, he's with Earl, he's with Corey and Billy, you know, he's with Shane, you know, he's, you know, it's like, it was.
Yeah. Well, he was highly
cool.
thought of. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, and I really, in all honesty, I did not get to know him that well.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, I didn't spend 10 hours probably with him because.
Yeah, I tell you what, man, he's the two of you are probably the two most people I've ever seen with sickness for pool. I mean, actually, just to really love the game and put up with all this bullshit and not get pissed off.
Well, you know, half of it now is I don't even get to play pool. I don't know if I love
Chad
it
never
anymore.
played pool.
Yeah.
Very, very
Yeah.
rarely played
Yeah.
pool. I mean, honestly, for his size, he couldn't really play that
Yeah.
much. He would play league every once in a while. You know, he liked to hit some balls, but, you know, he liked the atmosphere. He loved the players,
See,
and he loved the action.
I
so.
love the dynamics of it. You know, I've always, you know, I mean, it's just, you like to see how people hold up under pressure. You know, the only reason I watch golf on TV is I want to see if the guy just falls apart.
Yeah.
You know, or if racetrack. I don't watch races, but people go to the racetrack to see an accident, you know.
Well, you know, to me, it's always been about watching excellence.
Yeah.
You know, the elite,
Yeah.
the best.
Yeah. Pressure, working under pressure.
But I mean, you know, I've seen people just absolutely do him wrong, and he would turn around and either, you know, find a way to forgive him or smooth it over, or, you know, he was a good dude, man.
Right.
And he did a lot. He made a lot of stuff happen for Tar. I mean, for the first couple of years, he made almost every match. I mean, that's what he did. He made the matches, and I did the technical side. But yeah, it was interesting going back and looking at some of those. And at some point, I'd like to do some more stuff with some of the photos I have, because I've
got a ton. Well, that's how I met you.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't even know you then, and you were at the. You were
06.
posting some pictures on AZ Billiards of the bar table, and it was JCIN. So you know, so I always thought you were Jason after I, you know, and I sent you an email and you said, yeah, you can use them or something like this and blah blah blah, and then it turns out.
I think I met you that summer at your tournament in May. Because I was there shooting pictures for Billiards Digest. It was the last year of the side by side.
That would have been 05 or 6.
06?
Let's see, I bought it.
No,
04,
it had to be 07.
5 and 6.
It was 07.
5, yeah, 7 was the last year.
Yeah, it was 07.
Yeah, right. That was the last one when the Billiard Congress of America ran the men and the women's. And that was a great event. I always liked that event, and I'd love to see it come back. But holy mackerel, they're adding $80,000.
Yeah.
You just can't do it anymore. You know?
Yeah, the one thing that sucks is he never got to see this place, which I wish, you know, that's one thing I wish would have happened, because we talked about this, doing something like this for a long time. But one day we're going to do some partner stuff. I actually was going to try and do it with Darren and Shane, but there's just too many moving parts right now. So someday we'll do one.
Yeah. But anyhow,
John,
so that was your 7,000th post, and you made a nice post, and people came out of the woodwork saying, man, that he was just a cool dude.
Well, Chad touched a lot of people.
Yeah, he did.
He got to know a lot of people.
Yeah.
And Chad would cold call somebody in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
And talk to him like he was their best friend. I mean, he was awesome with that.
Yeah.
John Barton has got a really good question here, or observation, if you want.
Okay.
He said, seriously though, I'd like to hear your thoughts on whether or not having so many top players in one place will lead to a sharpening of skills and desire similar to what the Philippines and Taiwanese have by being in close proximity and constantly challenging
He's
each
responding
other.
to Smitty's comment of saying, you know, the Americans could be as good as the Filipinos. You put them all in one room or something.
I'm going
like
to
that.
say no.
I'm going to say no also.
You want to hear my reasons?
Please.
You going to interrupt me?
Mike?
I'm going to say no because, A, they're not playing the same games as everyone else. They're playing bonus ball, which is a different game. Granted, yeah, playing could be good, but it's still a different dynamic, different game altogether. Some of the skills are the same, but you're not breaking the balls like you're breaking 10 ball every time. You know, the strokes you use for bank, you know, if you're bumping balls and doing that little push stroke like one pocket and stuff like that, it's a different game than rotation games, which is what the Taiwanese especially are playing. It's much different in the Philippines because even though they're all in one place, and they may even be in the same building, there won't be any action. Those guys don't play each other on their own money. They just don't do it. So, and there's no backers, there's no stables to feed that, to put them in. Filipinos don't either, you know, for the most part. So, you know, you take the stables, you take the backers away from the Filipinos.
Yeah, they're.
And that whole dynamic goes away too. So it's not so much a logistical thing in my mind having the players there. It's having the money behind it.
But it's the infrastructure. It's the
exactly.
interactions. It's the
So yeah, you know, I just don't see it. You know, it could. I don't see it. I mean, these guys honestly. Up until a year or two ago, you know, hell, they were together 20 weeks a year anyway, at tournaments.
Yeah.
So it's not like, you know, they never saw each other and didn't have opportunities to play one another. So no, I don't think that will happen.
It could if so many of the other dynamics were different, but.
Yeah, if they were I mean, if they were all in there playing 10 ball 8 hours a day.
Yep, and they're playing King of the Hill where I beat you, then I get to move. Yeah,
sure.
But those dynamics are gone, so it's.
I see the point, but I don't think that's going to work.
And I don't think we need to talk about Derek Disco's tattoo.
It's not a tattoo.
I know.
It's a sticker on his sweater.
Yeah.
It's a hair sweater.
Yeah.
God, that's such a nasty picture.
He's your buddy.
Mr. 335, that was in reply to something else. What kind of dog do you have, if any? If you don't have a dog, what kind of dog would you like to own?
A Malamute.
Those are cool dogs.
I've been around dogs, and my family had
Very high strung, though.
No, this one wasn't.
Really?
It was like half Malamute, half Husky or something, and just, you know.
I had a good friend that had a Husky, and it was probably one of the most beautiful dogs.
Oh, they are. But they don't belong in Arizona or Nevada.
No. Well, I've got some. When I first started getting into photography, is that Hatch?
No, that'll be Mr. Bobby LeBlanc.
When I first started getting into photography, one of the things I would practice on was my buddy's dog.
Yeah.
And he'd go out in the backyard when it would snow, and this dog was like, I mean, it was like.
Oh yeah, he was in heyday.
Just bruh, you know, and. But yeah, they're gorgeous dogs. But man, what a handful that dog was. Just, I mean.
It's all in training, you know, upbringing.
Well, but I mean, still, some dogs are just high, you know, like a lot of energy.
Yeah.
I had raised a Rottweiler female, and had her for about 6 years.
See, I'm not a fan of pit bulls or any of those type of dogs.
Well, I'm not a fan of pit bulls either.
Well, to me, and I don't know the difference between.
Well, that's because you're ignorant.
That's true. I'll even interrupt you.
But
ignorant.
No, I like the Rotties, especially the females. Their temperament is they're not territorially dominant. You know, they don't really get all worked up if you walk in front of their yard or something like that. But great dogs. If I had to have a dog now, I don't know.
These little dogs, they're so funny because you see a guy your size walking around with a leash and they got a dog that weighs 4 pounds on it.
I'm not a big fan of little dogs.
Lap dogs, I'm not a big fan of.
I like the Chesapeake Bay Retrievers. Have you ever seen those?
No, but
they look like a bulky golden retriever. They're just thick.
Yeah.
I like those dogs, but again, that's a hunting dog, so I don't know if maybe like another one I was looking at was the American Bulldog, which it's like a cross between. It's not a pit bull, but it's not like an English bulldog.
What's the other one?
You don't like anything.
You want
a cat.
No, I like cats. But I'm trying. What's the other dog? The black. They're very sleek.
Labrador,
Police dogs normally.
Shepherds,
Well,
German Shepherds,
no,
Malinois.
no.
What police are you talking about? Standard poodles.
A Doberman. See, I knew the guy
Doberman.
was worth something.
Dude, there
another-
hasn't been a Doberman in a police or a
No,
police
there-
canine since the 70s.
Oh well, got to keep my remember my age. I want to talk about.
Dobermans are great looking dogs, but from what I
They
understand,
are smart.
from what I understand, that breed got really screwed up.
I don't know.
Well, that happens to every, like, you know, it happened with Rots. It definitely happened with Pit Bulls. You know, the breeds get popular, and then just they go to shit.
I don't know. Two other things I want to touch on real quick. Jim Murnack is doing a thing on AZ is a model of promotion right now. It's called Pool American Sport, and it's a league concept. He's trying it in New York, trying to develop a model where the pool players can support themselves. I think it's great what he's doing. I posted on it. I think there's.
I don't think he's selling it right.
No, well, and I don't. I think he's given 90% of the money to the players, which sounds great on paper, but it can never function.
Yeah.
You can't. That's too much.
Well, it'll function until he gets tired of doing it, and
Yeah,
then it'll
yeah.
fall apart.
The other thing is there's you know pools. There's a lot of even with the controversy and everything. There's always things going on. Our nationals we're going to be having some 6-pocket tournaments there and some other things, and we'll kick those things around. Hey, Bobby, come on over here. You know we got Bobby and LeBlanc.
I don't have a mic. What do you want?
Oh well, he can scream at us or something. You know,
Yes.
you can be on the map. You know, on the camera, just wave to everybody. How you doing, man?
Hey, what's up? What's up, man?
Yeah, talk loud
How you doing,
because
Dutch?
you know. Well, this
Nope.
this is Robert LeBlanc, and this is where you get a chance to plug your book. Man,
Oh,
how
yeah.
cool is that?
Now, maybe I should hold it up. That's where people. Hold on, I get it. It's right here. Hold on.
He was a road player for 35 years, and he's like 90 now. So you know he went on.
Good looking from my age too. There we go.
Yeah, Confessions of a Road Player, of a pool player, whatever.
Pool hustler.
But you guys, you know, if you get a chance to read, he lives in Las Vegas now. You moved here a couple of years ago.
About 3 years ago, yeah.
Used to be a house pro at like the Champs.
Hollywood Athletic Club.
Well, yeah, but what was the chain that was over there too?
Oh, National Sports
National
Grill.
Sports Grill.
Yes, in Orange County.
Yeah. But actually, I heard you're gonna wait till all those bonus ball people figure out who's the best, and you're gonna take them off.
No, I don't know. A lot of good players involved in that now. All the champions are playing.
Yeah. Have you been to the pool halls in town last week? Have they been playing? Is there anything been going on? You go to Best Billiards and stuff, yeah?
Thorsten dropped in, and a couple of the other guys came in, and I guess they're all hanging out at the bonus ball studios
Yeah,
over there.
yeah.
But I guess it's still under construction, so they moved it back till January, I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah, that's true.
I'm not
yeah,
sure.
Yeah, so.
But they're
Okay.
all in town.
Yeah, sure enough. But you know I'm so desperate for helpers that I actually had to hire this guy to help us in Vegas at our tournament. I think it's the first job he had.
Well, it is. That's good. And I couldn't have been working for a nicer guy.
Yeah, right. You beat me too in one pocket.
One game.
Oh.
I think you were stalling.
Yeah,
That's
till
right.
the bet got right.
That's right. Yep.
I don't have too much more to say. I mean, let's push on TAR 30 again.
Par 30.
Yeah.
Shane
You- see,
and
no, you can say
Oh.
you didn't know about. We're gonna have a good match here. It's January 18th through 20th.
Who's playing?
Darren.
Wow, that's gonna be exciting.
That's a good match.
10 ball, race to 25, 2 out of 3 sets.
Yeah.
Who do you like? I tell you, Darren's tough. He's a tough customer, but
You know, I like Darren in the short races. If they're playing to 100, well, I mean, you saw when he played Dennis. I mean, I
Well,
think
he wouldn't play if it was 200.
no, he won't do it. He can't say. He says he can't see the finish line.
Who, Darren?
Yeah,
Really?
He wants a shorter race. I
Yeah.
think Darren. He's a bulldog. I mean, he doesn't.
No, I think
he- it's a.
yeah.
I don't think he has the explosiveness that Shane has off the break, but Darren somehow gets the job done.
yeah, but
You know-
Shane's played here before. It's his big edge. You know, I think he's comfortable here.
Yeah.
He's played mighty good here. Every time I've seen him, he plays real solid.
Yeah. And you
So-
know, they've played before. They played at the old Executive West.
They played 8 ball.
They played 8 ball, but they played before. That's the one where they're playing. I only saw pieces of it. 15 ahead, or it was something. And Darren runs an 8-pack.
Good.
and they're playing 11 ahead or something.
Really?
He's just
And
pulling
loses.
numbers out of his ass.
No, I'm close. And
Are they-
loses the set.
He's just-
And loses the set.
So they gonna be
He
playing.
won 20. Ran 27 racks by
Yeah, yeah.
in a 12 ahead set.
One time I was in a small town in Memphis. I went to play a guy on the podium in a hick town, and the guy says, "Well, I just wanted you to know the guy ran 99 racks yesterday."
Oh, shit.
And I said, "Really?" I said, and he said, "I saw it." And I said, "Really? The guy ran 99 racks?" Well, get him on down there. I'll try him. So 99 racks. I swear to God. Yeah, it does get. Pool players do tend to multiply times 10, but they're gonna be playing 10 ball, right, Shane and Darren?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got it with Shane's breaking the balls. He's hard.
He's hard to
overcome,
beat.
Hard to beat.
Yeah,
with
he
breaking
convinced
good.
me when Tar won. Well, that's kind of where I really got hooked up with these guys. I drove all the way to
Yeah.
Sioux
Sioux
Falls.
Falls,
You know, it's like
South Dakota.
2,000
And that's
miles
gonna be
from
on the
here.
30th, you said?
Yes,
18th through the 20th.
18th to 20th here.
Okay.
It's the weekend before Derby.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So,
Weekend before Derby.
and we
that'd
just
be-
announced it. So we've been struggling to get a match going. So we finally get ourselves back on track. And
That's gonna be a great match. I want you. You gotta
yeah.
watch that. That's gonna be a great match.
We'll let you work the door.
I'll do it.
You have to stand outside.
I'll do it. I'm cheap. I'm cheap labor.
We know you're cheap, but then you get what you pay for.
That's right. You get what you're worth.
Anything else? Wanna wrap it
Not
up?
really. Just letting everybody know that we're alive and kicking. There's no animosities between us and Bonus Ball, at least between myself and Larry. And
I have
it's
no
just
problems with
we're
it.
just we don't have the answer. Let them do what they're going to do, and they're going to do it anyhow. Let's see what happens. It's not going to affect us any more than it already has affected us. Derby City's up in the air. Turning Stone's up in the air.
Yeah. Just have to
And the
see.
bar table. You know, it's going to get in the way of the bar table a little bit.
Yeah.
But because we cover 7 days, but we'll see. I think pool's still struggling, as is the country. So we'll get
When
there.
I say, do you want to wrap it up?
Oh, you mean like good night, Fred?
He can't quit talking, can he?
He's terrible,
Ah,
man. He's just
You ought to see him when he's playing me in one pocket, like a bird chirping.
so Tar 30, January 18th through the 20th. I'll have some promotional stuff up in the next couple of days, flyers, things like that. We're going to do some Facebook things, maybe do one on AZ too, give away some pay-per-views, stuff like that. See if we can't hopefully drum up some sponsors for this one since
Yeah.
we got enough time to promote it.
Yep.
And that's about it. Bobby, where can they get your book at?
My website, www.confestivalpoolhustler.com.
There you go.
Thanks, Justin.
Go check it out,
Yeah.
guys. And we'll see you soon.
All right. Good night. Thank you. And yeah, we'll see you soon, if not later.
Yep.
So this bomb. Oh.